DEI says, everyone come into our garden. We will make space for you, and then we will take a photo. Certainly, the gardener's eye dictates the aesthetic, choosing for inclusion among exotic names, shapes and colors made foreign by the context. Certainly not seeding wilds, wonderful dreams and untold possibility, and committing to working with what emerges. What does it mean to occupy the space provided? Is there pruning in the cultivated view? What if we want a different space, a little to the left with more afternoon sun, or right in the center of it all, rather than sequestered and defined by our difference, the things that make us diverse? But what if the campus is concrete, and we are the life forms that crack and splinter? Concrete was meant to tame, to subdue, to pave, to flatten and deaden. Even a rose amidst concrete may be called a weed, and all of the land is stolen. Can any of us be free if one of us is not? DEI says, everyone come into our garden. DEI says, everyone come into our garden, yet these students say it does not matter, because the regions are the sun, and the garden withers if the sun looks the other way. In refusing the sun, do the students become gnomes? Gnomes do not put down roots. They stay for a season as ornamental decoration until capitalism announces that they are passé, or until they are too worn down, faded and eroded by all they have weathered, and then they are finally replaced. If you are a gnome and the regions are the sun, what about all the rest of us that live in between? What about the librarian who listened to your story and found you justice? What about the staff member who maintains the logbooks of how and where to obtain the food we can eat, or the words to use to obtain the exemption so that we may engage in cultural exchanges according to the customs that should be our birthright? And what about me? I move with the institution's blessing, its resources, its branding, buttressed by all of its legitimizing processes. To these students, none of us are the institution. I do not give them freedom because it is not mine to give. It just is theirs. Agency and control are non-negotiables, essential, assumed. Perhaps that is the difference. From my perspective, we are all here, in but not of the institution, just like them. From my perspective, students are also the institution, its stewards while they are here, and also induced into caring about rankings and alumni networks and prestige markers once they move on. Perhaps we are all the campus, the climate, the culture? Is that not the institution? It is to me, but not to them. It seems we fundamentally disagree. Isn't that wonderful that we're not all the same? What can I learn from where we diverge? What does it mean for institution and campus to be separate? Who is responsible for one and for the other? How might we contribute to its sickness? Perhaps campus provides the room these students see and know and live, microclimates and subcultures and home places. They cannot imagine a place within the institution for them, within the bricks literally built by dominated bodies, within the teachings defined by the old vanguard, within the leadership who does not listen or seem to care. What does it mean to occupy the space together? Being in a garden, a community, not home places or anything subaltern, but folks engaging and invested in the same soil, each timeless and gorgeous, and breathtaking altogether. Is there room for all of us to be life forms? Or is this destined to be a lonely midsummer night's dream?